propaganda, garbage, gullible, spinning, mud slanging, and throw dust into the eyes of people. How dare you people? Another who Ghana from a Bokakra. What Baba serve your Maya? As I said, one casampo, who to me who said, no, as I said, Madame Huko, for their self accountability. Now we are echi. We yes are echiana. Not the monument sama kwashisha baby. Hi, and a political kwasia kekani Jimmy. We am crass for me so. No man kind as a political witch hunting is it not Ghana for bilimun so. Anyansa for no nim nyansa no musi do mechi ki can some fun. Meanwhile, elsewhere where democracy advancing, when to me will be one no crackasa. When the security services are on craft, no will create coginal ceilings. Now, mountains as we say, we did it. Won't you see? What you see? Would you say cartoon? And Ntim Fordjour is behaving like a child, like a cartoon. And some for no. Won't follow truth in him bad. Jay, ne didn't know we and swear. But Munim said the Amoy and yes, Anna said you are trying to change the narrative and the mindset of Ghanaians. Some of us, we are here. We ain't going nowhere, all right? And Mr. President, any goddamn who offends the law, man, you got to smoke his ass, all right? Mr. President, any goddamn, the person did the last word in the best also. It's America audience, the best also among. Any goddamn who just want to offend the laws of this country, man, you're going to hold his ass. We smoke your ass, all right? We're going to smoke you guys wherever you are. We smoke your ass. On my kitty, ye near who told 32 years. And fear Maku say whatever. Ye near who told MPP ni NDC, ye near who to said da, ye nim da so ye binya who to. Muwie ya mukwa nanabi. We nanabi and na waye ye say tamoso on waye. All of them. Woma enrichom who say omunama no mabo krase for no mabo designer word no mdi kwefum. And krase for mo be gina Ghana for your consul dia ye. Look at these lunatics. Fringes. And some of them, they are sick of schizophrenia. I don't know what to Ghana for some. I do put to you by force, yan swallow, but a yedma. Last semi bisamo. Samun Kobesa, former national security coordinator, Edward Kwaku the NDC for Menimu some Namisa Bebamoso one day. Kwaku, where is he? Kwaku, may say, where is he? Ora Kwaku, under the report. Last minute by. The report was written by the JCI, the Joint Intelligence Gang. And I'm sure you JCI, the Joint Intelligence Committee for Joint Intelligence Committee for they are made up of wine, the security heads of this nation. Security heads in the bear wine, boy. The police, fire service, immigration, customs, right? Fire service come home, and then here we are. But director of BNR. When we come home, be a new one and we form the Joint Intelligence Committee. Under our security architecture. When we come home, some penny for in a cabo trust our cratawi. Yade koma on man penny. Then the president, His Excellency wine. Nana Adudankwa Akufo-Addo. Yedibi koma the chief of staff. Say, Mami Chief of Staff, Monshe Kratei, na National Security Coordinator, no, where you're for, and you mammy and son, your cow report, no, Mammy come here and send the rest of the report, but the report in the bench. Name we are, no, my bed there, this goddamn crook in Ntim Fordjour, where you crook, also your Reverend Minister, he's disgracing the body of Christ. He pretends to be a nice guy standing there, but within the setup of the MPP element, they are using him. Look, they are using him. And Ntim Fordjour is being used as the arrowhead. Meaning they are intelligence. We are crass intelligence. They are using Ntim Fordjour as the arrowhead to perpetuate this foolishness and stupidity. And I'm not going to mess worse. Edward Kwaku Amman. Edward Asmeni. Yes, why are they? Edward Asmeni was accused of exporting the gold illegally out of this country. Ntim Fordjour, where were you then? No, you're member of parliament. Wante, Anamante, and then when you're Ntim Fordjour, when you're scoop nana, a jarry for Mofa former security coordinator, Mofa and Metoso, Edward Kwaku, name him say, Kwaku Amman, a man enough, as far as I know, a security guy, name himself, or a bear enough to step here in this studio one day when Ntim he ran away. You're accusing us already. Or exporting gold out of this country. Number 2, Edward Kwaku Amman was also doing what you call money laundering. Maybe money laundering was some and no woman dimrika call London. Equire DN say, and yen cra a fahini esne dintro. Mammy Fremo Pare, I know what Jubilee House for, and I know what shame. Woman dintro, a tro, a coachy sam, and a braba at the Chile Ghana for. Meanwhile, Kwaku Amman was lifting money out of Kotoka Airport all the way. Kwaku Amman no down. And the last one, Asumani was also accused of what? Exporting or transporting narcotics, cocaine. Specific word was written in the JCI report. Cocaine. Abranti or that way. Wait. My former national security coordinator under the ex-Kwaku Amman's government. Oh no, that. Yeah. He used the national security like a rag to mop the floor. He turned the whole Ghana's national security architecture like a rag to mop the floor. And MPP was aware. MPP no more aware. Yeah. All right. Now check how many was sika enya hunya papa we owo ewo mema. Meanwhile we or to London no a taxi driver. And omo kofa no gabi asroche da komo kofa no de ne buy de no kowura DI ho Dankwa Institute ho. And no ade achia ye say Ghana your national security coordinator we no. These guys came and dragged our national security architecture right the way through the mud and reduced it to like what? A rag to mop the floor. And they never cared. President Akufo-Addo name fano. There were several and MPP for him Bonia Papa with the tear gun. And on Ntim for the way. Now the interesting thing here. Ghanaians do not know is that in spite of all the noise by some of these elements in the MPP, majority of them are also what? Nicodemously visiting homes of some big men in NDC, begging for mercy and forgiveness to pardon their crime. In Pennyphobi war party more MPP party more. Namunya botre medifim the list nebeba. Woman na mesuma se ewura NDC Pennyphobi fie e de no moye ho. One more stress yem for mo born in chom na yam be frɛ from no mani menguase nim guase for you despicable souls good for nothing amamoye for nim kurase for mo say Ghana. Woman na mesuma se o pacho se yem for mo born in chom yem bomudin munya botre. Mr. President John Mahama Mr. And then me say minya call from one senior citizen bia Mami Lucy Vanderpool. Lucy Vanderpool is a senior sister Emma Mr. Oko Vanderpool. Na ensema maame ne kan say me friend is o megina fidie so a dia mo betinye bi nie. Hwe Ghanaians out in the diaspora bebre eni abre ndisi mozo. Wo mani abre mozo papa chese wo hwe bone a akoso in the 8 years of Akufo-Addo and the quantum of money gone and the crimes against this nation. Ghanaian, I can stick my neck to tell you, you've just heard about what? About just, if it is about 3 years, you've heard about 1% of it. 2% the monte. They kind of crouch them. Bonia wo me di wo ha no, enya bone ketua. And nobody, ye here or hinibia manabe dwanto ahene. Ewo ha. Munya wom. And Mr. Mahama, me patrol, crack the whip. Let the national security operatives go out there, get all of them arrested. Or everybody, get them arrested. Mumuro mufio. Ye person to wiem kwayem, nuyem, ensuom, emirikatuo, mupa munyane. That's the best way. But to stay here and continue to make noise, I swear to God, we got to counter you guys, man. We're going to counter you guys well and expose you because we are mamoya for, we are cron for. And I'm Johnny, Echo Rand is in Pennyford, Ebinufie, so Amonia the Encans and Libimum. I don't know moon command to Samonia Bonia. Now, show. I have a question for Ntim Fordjour and some of his NPP elements. If they can also help us put clarity and closure to the several missing of containers imported into this country by Electricity Company of Ghana with electrical cables and assorted gadgets cost millions of millions of United States dollars, and yet we have no use for these items. Ntim Fordjour enone here yebizao ya cost ya kra in containers are electricity company akokra containers yes saying there was a media me refi count no na containers yanka 10 containers yanka 20 containers we are talking about several hundreds of containers emma containers ni ye be wura na containers ni akaport ho emma nipa bi asisa containers no dodo no contain electrical wires and gadgets makoto mama mfrafo obi Indians and Chinese if was ye nane ni na de yemfanye de epe share the worst part ni. Secondly, an amount of saying 30 million Ghana cedis was also removed from the coffers of the ECG to clearing agent to clear some of the containers, and even on that amount some elements within the party chopped some money out of this. How wicked can you be? With afi sa containers you buy one sign koyi 30 million Ghana cedis. Ghanaians go and reset na kokwa hwem womu yi 30 million every ECG coffers mu say yemfam koyi ko onom de ma clearing agent for say omfan clear containers ni bi na woni ma de omo ye clear sa containers ni bi su wie bi say sa containers no so e fa he again the 30 million Ghana cedis ni de ma clearing agent no kra no womu sign ko G says can be edie asa. And Ghanaians continue to experience and suffer power outages under MPP NDC 32 years down the line. And these elements do not have what you call shame for their crimes committed against humanity. Muni tema. Between most our parties in Ghana for the sumu 32 years in a continuous MPP bar no abe pone ho kakra dum so ne kakra monye ni ademu a na o ma ye hu dede a na o mu de esi o na NDC for no so aba na o mo so apone dum so no ho kakra e de ama so o mo so monye na mo so mo experience 32 years in here. 32 years of this syndrome, of these canker cells, of these cancerous cells that have eaten Ghanaians so much and overwhelming. Say this doomsaw saga, this doomsaw phenomenon, that which again does appear, say we seem incapable of reversing the trend. Why? Because a yobisu business, modebe melke omei. E bina containers do do saying mudebe guha, e munyomi nara mas senekwa. Make us say PURC for at the 27% tariffs. Edi begu swama and see into a mua adrene, a siasamo adrene, as if say Ghanaians, yet we don't have the feel for pain. Mono muye nipatin. Yamu could Ntim Fordjour, ye dede. She containers way. Mu cry mo de buy. Sika billions of Ghana cedis gone. Obia say no. Ye ni baby a containers na afa. Obia say ni baby a containers na afa. And it's okay say ye no obi anka na ntum. Sa ho. Ye betumi aka no atu mana yi. Ebisamo. Ye betumi aka no atum e mana yi. Ada na mo ye o main bonesa. Na mu ni at hwe. Mu ni at you are so heartless. Muye heartless, you are mean, you are wicked, and muye evil. Boni emu boni nipa fo. Ya mu boni mu, mu di boni, mu sorry boni mu dware boni mu do boni, and mu didi wo boni mu enfam ho. Mu wi na mu bejan na mu preachy. So nice. There's a Ghana is there's 32 years. 32 years. Say be ya Ghana betimi nya a stable energy system. Edi because you'll be so business. Ghana Krei, Nikiti 16 regional capitals. Bisa say, how many IPPs any waha independent power producers. What me saying? Kokain, so me saying. And guess how much do we pay all these IPPs? And then akoso modi enfan ka hwe o. Oh na energy saying power producer be near neighbor room. Oh be na power producer near. And also me say one more do so ma neighbors o Ameri dey say o metwem. Oh no way aba anyway bebre o na bebre ni na so no still Ghanaians still must left it doom so out of our head. We continue to experience doom so. Now the likes of Ntim Fordjour anyone etete ho say cocaine aba. You are trying to spin against this cocaine business we say cocaine and a DN na me ba munko bi say mon national security coordinator Kwaku Amman me say 2 aircraft and about MC Amoma me aircraft no. Say 2 aircraft we ekwa na say enko na si Air Force Base. The 2 flagged US aircraft ebesi Kotoka airport. Why no man aircraft we ebesi a Kwaku Amman that little rogue, that criminal and they see one aircraft they see one. Monko be say Ntim Fordjour, you are still a member of the 2 aircraft in aircraft. Tonight, I'm also charging you. Go and find out aircraft way. Go to the US embassy here in Accra. Tell them to produce a report for you. You little useless, Mugu Parliament to Mohani Padwini. Little rogues. Good for nothing. Aircraft in the Suono. Ebesi Kotoka. Now, person member too much intelligence about this aircraft. But only my dear, MPP for Nankasa, one more chairman, why chairman dollars are or ye greater Accra, no your more dear debe. Or no or ye report FR aircraft with Mukobisan. No more year crown, one more the chairman dollars and crab babe twice muse, chairman dollars year cooking. Meanwhile, aircraft we buy no. Everybody, including national security, women are kept quiet about this aircraft. It's the for God knows how many days, weeks, months. And why this aircraft will not fly? Quick question, Munko Bisano. And Ntim Fordjour no we need Ghana. Wasting everybody's time. Now Samo look, Sadia mu ye won. A 12th century or less than 12, 10th century dirty politics. About 12th century kind of spin and a mu spin, you know. Oh. And no media surrogates and their media allies and rented press if one and apa we another mummy and koni say crass for munim dancer Ntim Fordjour ka ho that guy or minimum sorry kon so also for so despicable enough muko sorry mponie. They are using Ntim Fordjour as the arrowhead to continue spinning this way. As far as the movie here, everything be amodbeba is spinning will expose you people. Ntim Fordjour pa onkan anuntum openso a ombeka ne nekre. But the point is, I am tonight charging the President John Dramani Mahama, Your Excellency, ye patrol, anybody in this country, or your MPP ni or your NDC ni sabriwi, no we disika, get them arrested immediately. Mr. President, forget about the noise. Forget about the noise. Wamuso mbedi nkwasasano mu mmirim wom. Let them know. Let them know, sir, Mr. President, you are in charge and you are the commander-in-chief of the security services. Akufo-Addo was in this country. He could just go and command chiefs in this country. Akufo-Addo could just go and command Ahimfo. Mon sorry, like this. Now Akufo-Addo refi say, look, Ahimfo no, woman the custodians of this country. And I'm and no Ahimfa. Where is Akufo-Addo in there? Meanwhile, Ahimfo no and Akufo-Addo say, woman son, and they are still at post. Ahimfo no, they are still there in their palanquin. Ahimfo no, they are still there in their territorial lands. Ahimfo no, they are still there in their what? In their communities, in their regions, in their capitals, everywhere. They are still there. Akufo-Addo is nowhere to be seen. And you want to spill your garbage and your clear ignoramuses on Ghanaians. Minus some of us, as long as we live, we expose you people. We are cromfo. You are a bunch of thieves, rocks, and ragamuffins. Mo politics in yefe ba kusi. Mo politics and yefe ba just time keke. Obi zin Mr. 1940 was over him. All because when we come meeting, almost know you are going to be the arrowhead. Munchenyi Ntim Fordjour is not Mokofa Reverend. Ntim Fordjour we be we. Now, Muna Maya say, and you Ntim Fordjour, yeah. No, Nujina, a dinosaur, no all team, and war team, and also. Sifom, na koka on nekra ne kire. Don't sit and use your media to spin around. It's answer phone amudie no. You are fit. I mean, sure say next week you better say with you. But Mr. President, get Ntim Fordjour arrested. More arrested. Make sure Ntim Fordjour should go to jail. One kind of crime, make sure he go to jail in the very moment here Parliament will recess. They be no this useless, immunity, and I'm going to call my foot Parliament. Parliament is on recess. Don't go and disturb the speaker. Parliament is on recess. But they also be come out. Bunch of useless people. Mum pen the crebiedi. Ghana obia mum raso. Na me mroso. Wo mroso. Minunya ye equal. Obia mum raso. Na president mroso on abroso. The fact that we are member of Parliament is what. And then they are so sang Kasebi say, do you know me? Do you know who I am? And they